3, 2, 1. Fellas, we just watched Matt Gilpin and Travis Mayer do the workout. We got some tips. What do you got to say?
Workout number one.
Yeah.
Workout number one.
Workout number one. Before we do that, what's your general reaction to the body of tests?
I love them. Everyone else is getting frustrated because they think it's not complex. But look, that's exactly what Bosman and Castro have said all season. So we, I think, as coaches, got to take those hints and make sure we program accordingly.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like it's almost exactly what they said, with the exception really of the third workout, layout, complexity, putting rope climbs in for classes. But it seems like CrossFit.
He likes it, Kyle?
I'm not going to complain about it because I have to do the test. And I don't think that it's a good idea to complain about something that I'm going to be doing.
All right, so now we all know you want to complain about it.
I do. Yeah, keep the complaint in.
Stay positive, baby.
Workout number 2, which is it technically workout number 1? Because there was the
Kyle, it was a yes or no.
thing.
It was a question. Do you like the test or not?
Yes.
Mike.
I like the test, especially number 4. It's beautifully written.
Why is that?
Because we literally wrote the same workout last year in a simulation.
That's crazy.
Love it.
I don't like number 2. I don't like seeing burpees.
We didn't
again.
ask that.
Yeah.
Beep that
I
out.
don't like test 2.
Yeah.
All right, so what should we do here? We want to give the people some tips.
Yeah. I think just I think tips for each workout real quick. I mean, we literally have watched 2 pretty elite athletes go, so obviously we can't give everything out, and there's also stuff that are going to be a little bit more secretive with regards to giving out scores. But
So you can turn the video off now.
I would say for those that are in our programs, individual athletes, you're going to get a pacing and strategy guide, which will have all the details in it, and that kind of goes into the nitty gritty of each workout.
Yeah. Workout 1. Is it actually workout 1, the one we just watched? I know there
No,
was some
it's
issues.
technically
Didn't they
workout
change
2.
it?
Oh, okay. So we just watched workout 2, which was workout 1. We were writing everything down, but workout 2.
4 rounds, max reps, 1 minute snatch, 1 minute row calories, 1 minute dumbbell box step ups, and you get a minute rest. Kind of reminds me of like a fight gone bad style. I love that they put this into a quarterfinals.
Same. This one's it's very challenging to give broad advice. I had to write the document one for this, and depending on how tall you are, how good you are at barbell cycling, girls versus guys, all of it kind of plays in how you strategically go after this. But I think the biggest separator for almost everyone's going to be the rower.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big difference in male and female strategies because, number 1, they decided to use the 85-pound bar instead of a 95-pound bar for females, which is a little bit lighter than typical, and women can't create the same level of power on the rower that the men can, so there's not quite as much separation on the rower that can be created for them. So it may actually come down to getting a few more snatches and pushing the step-ups a little bit more versus for men pushing the row as hard as they can and then just making sure that they maintain on the other 2. I'm not saying go easy on the other 2, but maintain.
Really what it comes down to is it's gameable for different styles of athletes. Someone that's really powerful may want to go a little bit more aggressive on the row. Someone that's maybe a little bit smaller needs to pace the row so they don't blow up, but they can go faster on the step-ups or the snatches. It kind of just depends on what you're good at. We do think, though, that most athletes in the male division are going to do really well by going fast on the row. Why are you laughing over there, Mike?
Just do what you're good at.
Just do what you're good at. I do think that the way that most people should game this, and this is going to seem kind of counterintuitive, is actually to pace the snatches and then be a little bit more aggressive on the row and then just pick a target on your step-ups every single round, knowing that you're going to get that minute after where you can kind of try to speed up each set. So like maybe set 1 is, let's just say, 16 reps, and then set 2, you try to go a little bit faster, set 3, you go a little bit faster, and then obviously you're going balls to the wall on the last one. Is that appropriate in this video to say
Balls
that?
to the wall?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
just cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have any strategies for people to recover in the minute that they've got?
No, I don't think so. I mean, especially the people following our programs, you're used to and accustomed to intervals and getting rest minutes. So just do what you would normally do in there. If you need to sit down or you need to drink some water, you need to dry your hands off, just like be deliberate with that time.
I'll be drinking some very ice cold water.
Yeah. No pickle juice?
No pickle juice.
The one thing I will mention is that warming up well for this one's going to be really important. You need to make sure that because this, as soon as you get into that first 3-minute interval, that 1 minute rest isn't going to be enough to recover. And so if you your heart rate is just completely redlined or your respiration rate is super high, it's going to be hard to come back down unless you warm up well so that you can get that recovery.
What's a good warm-up?
We have one in our pacing and strategy guide. So if you're in our programs, you'll get that.
Check it out. Sorry, YouTubers. Yeah. The only other thing I was thinking, intermediate athletes, what really changes? I think intermediate athletes, it puts even more emphasis on the row in this workout, because barbell cycling at 135/85 for somebody that might be strength limited, you might not be getting that many reps at 135, and maybe the step ups are a little challenging, but I think the row for everyone is something that you can really hammer. So intermediates probably need to be extra focused on getting as many cals as possible in each one of those 1 minute windows times 4.
Nice. Good recovery.
All right. Workout 2. Kyle's favorite. This is going to be 3 rounds for time of 50 wall balls and 50 lateral burpee box jump overs. I'll just
Here you can go balls to the wall.
You can.
Wall ball.
Call back.
And to the floor and on the box. This one is clearly burpee. The separator in this workout is going to be the burpee box jump overs. And we have a little chart, and I'm going to share a little bit of this with our YouTube audience. So on average, if you look at the burpees, if you took 4 seconds per rep, it would take you 3 minutes and 20 seconds to complete the 50 reps. I would say this confidently, no one in the world is going to be able to hold that 4 second per rep. Most people will probably be anywhere from 7 to 9 seconds. And the reason I bring that up is 9 second per rep burpees would mean 7 minutes and 30 seconds to complete 50 reps, which would mean that's your entire workout, because it'd be 22 minutes to do 150 burpee box jump overs, which is in this workout.
So this is a cap workout. No capping. You're going to hit the cap, though.
Yeah. You definitely are going to hit the cap.
I still don't even actually know what that means. But
It means I'm not lying. No
I gotcha.
cap.
Yeah, you're going to hit the cap. No cap.
Sorry,
The YouTube knows we're old now.
Yeah, that workout, this is not a negative thing, but I looked at it and was like,
Sounds like a negative thing's coming.
wow, that's challenging. Yeah, it's not negative. That's just a reality. That's going to be a very challenging workout. It's going to blow people's legs up to go from wall balls to burpee box jump overs with the required step down. So just be prepared, I think, for that one to be a real grind of a
And
workout.
did they figure out if it's lateral or not?
It's a weird.
It's a very
weird standard.
unclear standard. They said that you can have any orientation. They wrote lateral burpee box jumps. You can do it facing, but I don't think it's in anybody's advantage to do that. I think you're just going to move more.
There's also an interesting standard this year, and everyone should definitely read the standards for themselves, but you have to either step down from the box or jump clearly over the box. You can't jump up onto the box and then jump down. So that's definitely for anybody that does that little like bounce out of the bottom. Max was talking about how he does that. You can't do that in this workout. You're going to have to come up with a way to step down from the box.
And it's going to slow you down too, so you got to keep that in mind.
And technically, it might be a little strange if you're jumping laterally on the box to figure your step off. Like you might have to jump up laterally, cross over, and step off, and use like a combination of a step over technique and a step down, because it's hard to step off with the lateral foot when you're moving laterally.
One more just quick note on this workout. If it all comes down to the burpees, then picking a strategy on the wall balls to optimize the deterioration that's going to happen in the burpees matters a lot. And so I think some people are going to see this and like, oh, I can do 50 unbroken, or I can do 25, 25, and I'm going to be comfortable that way. But it's probably better to just come up with a breaking strategy that's like 10 or 15 reps at a time. Just keep your legs as fresh as possible, and then make up that time on the burpees. Again, 150 burpees. If you were just going half a second faster per rep than the average pace amongst your peers, you're making up so much time in this workout.
Yeah, Brandon, to that point, this is going to be a 20-minute workout for nearly everybody that does the workout in the entire world. So keep in mind that whatever your pace is, whatever your strategy is, it needs to be set up for a 20-minute workout. It needs to be sustainable across there. And you wouldn't look at doing 20 minutes of wall ball and going unbroken sets of 50. Like that's idiotic. You would want to do something like sets of 10 with a short break so that it is sustainable, because like you said, it's going to be mostly down to the burpees, and you're going to be doing it for 20 minutes. So just make sure that you keep that in mind when you're setting up your pacing strategy. And when you come out for that first set of wall ball and you're excited and you want to do a big unbroken set, just keep in mind, you're doing it for 20 minutes.
How long is it?
It's 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I think I'm just repeating that to tell myself that it's 20 minutes.
Is Kyle giving tips to himself?
Yes.
All right, event 3, handstand push-up and toe to bar into 2 rounds of handstand push-up and rope climbs into 1 round of chest to wall handstand push-ups and muscle-ups. Kyle, I'll let you start this one off.
Yeah, so I did the breakdown for this. This is just a really complex workout. There's a lot of moving parts here. I think for a lot of people, this is going to be a very logistical workout where may even have to have multiple handstand push-up stations and things like that. But big things that we talked about for strategy here that I think are important are, number one, there are 60 handstand push-ups in this workout, and they get more difficult as you go through the workout. So you start with kipping, then you go to strict, and then you finally go to your wall-facing strict handstand push-ups. So that last set of wall-facing strict handstand push-ups, if you think back to quarterfinals last year where that workout finished with 10, nearly everybody got kicked in the pants at that point. They were not ready for the wall-facing strict at the end of this workout. So go ahead.
It ended with 21 though, didn't it?
Yeah. It did, but either way, that was a huge bottleneck. And that didn't even take into account the fact that there's 10 rope climbs smack in the middle of this workout and then 20 ring muscle ups to finish the workout. So there are a lot of potential bottlenecks and places for separation here. So I think those are the big things to keep in mind, is that it's a complex workout, and going into it thinking, man, I can do 10 unbroken kipping handstand push-ups in the first round. Maybe you can, but that might not be the best idea over the course of the entire workout.
Yeah, this one's going to be very different, I think, for intermediates and elites. Elite athletes, those rep ranges in the gymnastics, especially the handstand push-ups, are not that high. So I think for them, it's going to be a little bit more grippy because they're going to be pushing the pace through those toes to bar, through those rope climbs. And then that grip fatigue is going to basically make the muscle ups at the end the big separator. For intermediate athletes, I think the gymnastics volume of upper body pressing is going to bottleneck more and slow people down, so their grip might not blow up as much. So take into consideration your strengths and weaknesses when you set this up. If you know, okay, I need to save myself for the 20 muscle ups at the end because I can kind of hum through these first couple of rounds, then you might want to break up more, or do something like that to pace for the later times. If you're going to be bottlenecked really early by handstand push-ups, it might make sense to kind of go through those toes to bar pretty quickly for yourself, because by the time you get to the handstand push-ups, you're going to have to rest anyway.
Yeah, and I wouldn't underestimate how much of an impact the compounding fatigue will be in your abs as well. You got to think 60 toe to bar and then going into more hip flexion, basically raising your knees up on the rope climbs, then going to ring muscle ups. And if you've ever tried to do rope climbs with tired abs, it's very difficult. If you've ever tried to do ring muscle ups with blown up abs, it's very difficult. So yeah, there's a lot of pressing fatigue and pulling fatigue we're looking at, but get your midline really primed and warmed up as well going into this. Don't underestimate that.
Is there a time cap for this that intermediates are going to be fighting for that we should?
It's a 15-minute time cap for this.
So it's just a cap, but there's no tiebreaker. It's just they're AMRAPing.
That's a good question. We should probably look into that.
Okay, that might be something to note if there's like a tiebreaker in round one and somebody can't do rope climbs or somebody can't do muscle ups. It might be worthwhile for you to game how to maximize your time cap. Yeah. Again, we're doing these pretty quick after they're released, so we don't got everything in our brains right now.
Kyle, the last thing I wanted you to note, because you've done some good strategy stuff with
section completed.
Go ahead and say it.
Tiebreaker. Sorry. The previous 3 rounds or 2 rounds completed, that's your tiebreaker.
Cool. Okay. So that's good to know, especially as you get close to the 15-minute cap.
Yeah.
What I was saying is ring muscle-up strategy at the end of a workout. Kyle, you've done some testing on this where like an athlete maybe does an AMRAP set and then kind of chips away, or maybe does it on a clock. What would you recommend in this workout?
I would definitely recommend doing smaller sets on an interval clock. So we went and broke down some videos of people in 23.1 last year, which finished with the 20 ring muscle-ups. And athletes who had a very sustainable strategy, like 4 every 40 seconds for 5 sets, they were much faster than athletes who came out and hit a really big unbroken set to start and then chipped away. A great example. So we did this breakdown for another podcast that Brandon and I did, but 4 every 40 seconds for 5 sets is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And then 8, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 40 seconds rest after your 8, and then 20 seconds rest after each other set takes you 4 minutes and 27 seconds.
And that was based off an actual athlete that did that workout.
Yes, yeah. 100%.
And the redo was smaller sets on an interval.
Was 4 every 40 seconds, and they were 2 minutes almost 2 minutes faster just on the ring muscle ups. The other thing I would suggest is go back, and if you have your video from Open 23.1, go back and watch the ring muscle ups and figure out how long they took, because that's a similar chipper style workout that's going to finish with ring muscle ups. The fatigue in this workout is going to be very different than the fatigue was in 23.1, but it'll still give you a good sense. If it took you 6 minutes to do the ring muscle ups there, well, that might give you a good sense of how long they're going to take here, maybe even longer than that.
All right.
Agreed.
Event number 4, Mike, you can take the mic.
Mike Radamas.
So it's a 10-minute AMRAP of 10 clean and jerks, rest 1 minute, 10 clean and jerks, rest 1 minute, 10 clean and jerks, rest 1 minute, and then AMRAP, and obviously the weight goes up on each of those sets.
I'm excited. I don't even know where to start. All right, I'll just get to it. We've got some data on this because we did a simulation last year that was basically the same workout. For the men, it was the exact same weights, but it ended with a 9-minute cap. instead of a 10-minute cap. So we have one less minute. For women, 2 of the bars were 10 pounds off. It was a little different, but we can give you some general ideas on loads and like expectations. So the top score in that simulation for 35 to 39 masters male was 20 reps at the 245 bar. So having an extra minute to do, to basically work, I would expect, 25 to closer to 30 reps for like really top end scores on that. And I think the women's would be maybe a little similar, maybe a little bit
maybe
higher.
a little bit higher,
Yeah,
to be
because
honest.
they can generally cycle like those loads a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, I think just looking at it, that the one guy who won that workout in that simulation, he went touch and go on the first opening bar. It was about 30 seconds to do that. And then his second bar, he went 7-3, and that allowed him to get close to 20 reps at the second bar, the 185. I got second on that one, had 3 less reps than him total, and went singles all the way. So I still think you can have a very competitive score doing singles. I think unless you're ready to like hit a home run and like this is your absolute wheelhouse workout, there's no reason to do touch and go.
Remind me for our Christmas throwdown, we should have a workout called Singles All the Way.
That is a good one.
So I think in terms of strategy, it's pretty simple. You either are going to do some opening touch and go if you're just an absolute beast and you want to get ahead. Otherwise, to do really well in it, you don't have to.
Yeah.
There was a whole minute extra added to this. So when you only have 9 minutes, doing touch and go and getting ahead is actually okay and worth that, because the amount of work or rest that you have in 9 minutes versus 10 minutes is very different, and that changes your working time total overall.
Will there be people at the intermediate level will probably, some of them might be bottlenecked in weight number 3.
I think so too. Yeah.
225, 165. So just keep that in mind with where this is relative to your 1 rep max. But if you are one of those people, there's not really much strategizing. It's just singles all the way.
I think it's just how aggressive you are on your I think it's just how aggressive you are in your opening bars. So, if you know that you're going to be in that last bar and you're going to be really pushing to just AMRAP that final bar, then you got to push the pace a little bit early on and get ahead. Otherwise, just take your time, focus on smooth technique, and just if you know you're in that third bar, maybe even the second bar, you got to take your time and just set up for each clean and jerk.
It just processed in my mind that there's no 1 rep max. I know I've been looking at all these workouts for the last 2 hours and it just clicked in. I was like, oh, there's no max.
No, I knew that right away.
Mike was looking for it.
A piece of my soul was missing.
All right, that's it, right?
Yeah, last note for me, have some fun, enjoy the grind. You guys are all prepared.
Are we going to talk about order at all?
Yes.
Give some suggestions on
idea.
order?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for most people, they should just do it in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's so much time this year, and you don't have these like super tight deadlines.
But why? It's just good how they laid it out?
I mean, the first 2 need to be done by Saturday. So having those done, seeing scores, getting a feel for if you need to retest makes sense. And then the next 2 are not due till Monday. So that, again, gives you more time.
The only other order that I saw that kind of made sense was 3 first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
1, 2, 4. Because 3 is it's like I don't want to say low stress because no CrossFit workout is low stress, but it's definitely like a decent ease into the workout. It's very gymnastics and upper body focused, and workout 1 and 2 are more like global systems and more lower body heavy. So it won't have too much conflict if you wanted to do that. But almost everyone I recommended 1, 2, 3, 4 in order.
When we're saying order 1, 2, 3, 4, we're talking about what was originally released. So workout 1 being
so it would be 2, 1, 3, 4.
Now it's normal.
Yeah, it's right.
Number 1 is the row power snatch.
The one is the one that we did. That's the
one
right
that we're
way.
talking about.
Okay, yeah. We're talking about doing the interval one, the order that we just talked about them in.
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Is there any order that would be dumb to do?
No, number 2 first.
I don't
Give him that mic.
I don't think so, because if you're worried about soreness, 50 wall balls spaced out over 20 minutes, I don't think if you're trained right now, I don't think it's going to destroy you. I think what's dumb is trying to do too much of them too quickly.
Yeah.
You've got so much time. 2 of these are not due until Saturday night, which is a long time from now. So take your time on them, set up a good strategy. I think that's going to be better than worrying about trying to cram them in too quickly. Yeah. Unless you are someone who just operates with doing 2, taking a full rest day, and then coming back. So,
yeah, I agree. I don't think there's necessarily a bad strategy now that we have 6 days. Travis originally said he might want to start with workout 4 first. And I just thought hey, even though it's a heavy workout and you might want to be fresh, you have enough rest days later that you could take, that you could always take a rest day and come in and do that one. So I think it makes sense to have 1 and 2 done as soon as you can. So that way, if you need to redo it, you have the time to do it and plan out the remaining 2.
The one thing I'll note on workout 2, which is the one with the 150 burpees, if you're someone that just knows that they get wrecked by burpees, that makes you super sore, especially in your pecs or your triceps, just be aware that you need some rest time before you do workout 3 with the ring muscle ups and the toe to bar.
Yeah. So you could take an off day in there. You got enough time to do that.
Exactly.
So what did we not say? What are the actual TTT athletes getting that we didn't say here?
There is an entire sheet, a pacing and strategy guide where they're going to get tables of row paces, tables of how to pace each of the different workouts, how fast your wall balls should be, different strategies for breaking up your wall balls, different strategies for breaking up your handstand push-ups. All of those things are in the pacing and strategy guide.
Reminders on standards, some targets on each thing. I'm scrolling through it as we
15 pages of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
Wow,
comprehensive.
it is 15 pages. Holy cow.
Access to coaches in the app over the next 6 days as well.
Yeah, true. I mean, if
ask me questions. Let me answer them for you.
let us go back to work now, man.
Let's do it.
Yay.
Bye-bye.